12 different guys in clutch time this postseason, 12. That is tied for the most for any team in the last 20 postseasons. And the lineup they used on Iggy's game-sealing 3 in Game 2 was the only time those 5 saw the court together this entire postseason. That's incredible. And it's gone beyond next man up because the Warriors have had 15 different scores. That's tied for the most in a single postseason in league history. Everybody that could possibly step up has, as Draymond Green said today.
We've been, faced with a bunch of different injuries now, Loon being the latest, and guys have continued to step up. It's the reason that we are in this position we're in right now, where we're coming home with a series tie 1-1 with a chance to go up 3-1 with these 2 games here at home. We got to continue to channel that same energy that we've been having.
KD is out, Looney is out, Clay is questionable. Do you come into Game 3 with any sort of sense of urgency that this is an opportunity you guys really have to seize?
I think we come into a sense of urgency, period. No matter, the situation, we want to win as many games. We want to be the first to 4. And every game is an urgent game. You're in the NBA Finals, so it doesn't matter. They still got professional basketball players down there, and they're really talented basketball players. So you still got to be ready to go out there and play your butt off and play hard.
Good answer by Kyle Lowry. Sports Around the Road is presented by Rocket Mortgage, by Quicken Loans, as we welcome you back here. Lake Chalet in the beautiful Bay Area, Oakland, California. This is our home for off days, although there's no such thing as an off day when it's the NBA Finals. Stephen A. Smith joins me now, and if there were ever a time that strength in numbers applies, it is now, and it's really unlike anything we've ever seen in this 5-year NBA Finals run by the Golden State Warriors. So if you are Steve Kerr, there's a lot of concerns you have. What's your biggest concern?
Well, my biggest concern is Klay Thompson because he's averaging 23 on 53% shooting from the field, about 58% shooting from three-point range in the first 2 games, and he's one of the great marksmen we have ever seen in the game's history. You need somebody like him, not just to give you the point production, the marksmanship, sniper-like production that you get from him, but also to take some of the pressure off of Steph Curry, because as beautiful of a player and as much of an elite sniper as Steph Curry is, he has one problem. He's relatively skinny, and when you're that skilled, all right, and you're that slim, when they can't beat you with skill, what do? They try to hurt you. Yeah. They get physical with you, and that's certainly something that would work to the Warriors' disadvantage at this particular moment in time. And where is the evidence? It's very, very simple. Kevon Looney is out with the collarbone. Kevin Durant is out with the calf. Andre Iguodala was almost out with the calf. You had Boogie Cousins out with his quad, and obviously you got Klay Thompson with his hamstring. So you got 5 guys that legitimately might not make it through Game 3. Right. So it's one of those situations where if you're the Golden State Warriors, it's an elevated level of concern in that regard.
I mean, there's 5 different things. There isn't just one concern. There's several. So now enter rookie head coach Nick Nurse, who has been just excellent at making adjustments this entire season. It's like a chess match for him, especially right now, Stephen A. So if you're Nick Nurse, what's your next move?
Well, first of all, I would duplicate what I did in Game 2. Last 5 minutes or so, he threw a box and 1 on Steph Curry. Steph Curry is the elite shooter we've ever seen in the game of basketball. It's one thing to take away the primary weapon and dare other people to beat you who can shoot, but what if those people are injured and can't play? Right. And all you have to worry about is this guy. You throw that box and 1 because it clearly worked for them effectively. They went like on a 10-0 run late in the game. They nearly tied the score up. You try to duplicate that feat. This is nothing new for Nick Nurse. He's had about 26 different lineups since the season began, since he started his campaign as the head coach of this franchise. He's not averse to taking chances. He's shown his willingness to do so, and more importantly, usually the decisions that he has made has definitely worked. Remember, switching Kawhi onto the Greek Freak in the Eastern Conference Finals to start off Game 3. These are the kind of things that Nick Nurse has done, and it's worked to perfection. I think you try that box and 1 now.
21-9 coming off of a loss, and hey, they were this close to making that a win in Game 2 on Sunday. By the way, Stephen A. Smith, as usual, not even close to being done. Did you hear that cheering coming from over there? That's because First Take, a special coming up live here at the top of the hour here on ESPN.
The fans, they have asked for me, and I shall arrive.
They've asked for you?
Yeah, sound like it. Damn sure it's me. Damn sure it's me for First Take. Better believe it's me.
I can't with you, Stephen A.
All right.
Thank you. We'll see you tomorrow. And by the way, Oracle last couple games here at Oracle. We'll detail that coming up on SportsCenter. Get out of here.
Sage, they're cheering for him in Bristol as well. 9 NFL teams starting mandatory minicamps today with 3 organizations featuring some new quarterbacks. Let's start in the NFC East. First-round picks Daniel Jones and Dwayne Haskins looking to make an impression in New York and Washington, respectively. While in the AFC East, Ryan Fitzpatrick, Josh Rosen vying for the job in Miami. Our quarterback, Dan Orlovsky, joining us now. So, all right, the Giants situation. Eli Manning, Daniel Jones, it's June, but they were not consistent in practice. When you look at Daniel Jones, how do you view this quarterback situation?
I don't really see it as a quarterback competition, because the Giants from the top down, from general manager to head coach Pat Shurmur, have said Eli Manning still can play winning football. They've been outspoken about that. They've also said we really want to follow the KC model, which is letting our veteran quarterback play, and then Daniel Jones is going to learn from Eli Manning. And to be honest, they didn't go get Golden Tate at 30 years old for Daniel Jones. They didn't trade for Kevin Zeitler at his age as a guard for Daniel Jones. They did it for Eli Manning, so it's Eli Manning's job for the foreseeable future.
All right, now let's go to Washington. Now, a lot of people thought that the Giants were going to get Dwayne Haskins. Well, he fell in Washington's lap, and the future's unknown with Alex Smith here. It's unclear because of his health and that injury to his leg. And then they bring in Case Keenum. When you look at Haskins and his talent, what must he do to make that first impression, to get more first-team reps?
Well, it's more about what's around him, because Dwayne Haskins should win this job, and he's plenty physically and mentally ready to do that. But their offensive line, is it healthy? Darius Geis, who's their running back from 2 years ago, didn't play last year. What's he like? Josh Doxson, who we're seeing right now, is he ready to take a step forward? They also have 2 young receivers in Terry McLaurin and Kelvin Harmon, who they drafted this year from college. Are those guys ready to be NFL pro receivers? Because if they're not, don't play Dwayne Haskins. But if the young talent around him is ready to take that step forward, play him because he's ready.
Now, I know what you meant with Geis. He got hurt last year as a rookie in that preseason, right, early on, so trying to make an impression. Now, the Dolphins and their practice today. Ryan Fitzpatrick really stood out when you look at some of the notes in the red zone. On the other side, Josh Rosen was inconsistent. How does this battle play out in your mind?
Yeah, this should be Josh Rosen's job to lose. And if it's even close, he should be the guy. We know that this organization is in many ways football tanking. They're rebuilding in the front office. So if Ryan Fitzpatrick plays and plays okay and you win 6-7 games, it does nothing for you in your future. You're in the same quarterback situation you were this year. You're going to be in the same one next year. Play Josh Rosen. See what you have, because next year's draft is going to be loaded. Figure out if he's your guy or he's not. But playing Ryan Fitzpatrick and winning a couple games doesn't do anything for you.
You make the reference to next year's draft, Tua Tagovailoa, Justin Herbert, 2 guys off the top of my head that Mel Kiper's screaming right now while watching this program. Keep in mind that the Dolphins traded for Josh Rosen this offseason. Fitzpatrick signed a 2-year, $11 million deal. Dan, thank you. Sage?
All right, Kev, more NFL to come. Mandatory minicamp in Cleveland, so guess who finally showed up? Odell Beckham Jr. will give you our first impressions on his debut with the Browns on the court, on the field. And speaking of